I've opened up a previous program called Fruit. I'm going to do save as. I'm going to alter this, but I want to keep the original one. I'm going to call this Fruit Input. Right, so this is no longer Fruit, it's also called Fruit Input, and this is the one I'm going to change. I want to continue with the Fruit Calculator, but I want to make it more dynamic by making use of the keyboard. So what will happen is, instead of saying set the number of apples used, it'll be get the number of apples used using the keyboard. So I'm going to change that there. And again, that's one to do with the pairs, get the number of pairs used using the keyboard. So the idea is, a user or a person running your program or executing your program will type things in. Right, so I can get to do that. That's the first thing. I could do the same with the cost as well, but we'll stick to this part first about just getting some basic information in. So right now we have this bit down here about creating variables and assigning values. We know that apples in this example here, it says make it 10. So I'm going to change that. What I think I'll do is, I'll put it down here. I don't need that line anymore, I can delete that line. Right, and I'm going to put in something like get values from keyboard. This is the sort of area this will be here. And to do that, I need to put in the name of the variable. Apples is what's going to keep the answer. Equals. But I don't put a number 10 anymore. What I'll do is, I'll use this word called input brackets. Now, what that means is, input brackets is let someone type something in using the keyboard. That's all it really means. Best thing to do though is to provide some sort of message to the user to let them know what they're doing. So enter the number of apples used. So that's the sort of message the user will get on the screen, and then this line here allows them to type in the value and store the answer here. Now you can't just do that, because someone on the keyboard could type in something like hello. Right, now hello is a string, isn't it? A string of text. In this case here on the left hand side, I look as if I'm looking for an integer here. So I'm going to tell it to force it into an integer. int brackets input brackets. So I'm putting input brackets within int. Now if someone types in a string, it'll crash the program. So let's run this program. So imagine I type in something that's wrong. Crash. Okay, now that's something we can't fix at the moment. We'll be able to fix later on when we look at our examples, but right now we're going to allow this crash to happen. Right, now I'm going to run it again. I'm going to type in 10 for 10 apples. It still does the maths, but then run it again. 20 apples, numbers are completely different. Okay, so it's taking into account this 20 or this 10, and it's changing the values yet again, so it makes it more dynamic. Now I want to get a number of pairs as well. I'm going to copy these lines, by the way, copy and paste them, enter the number of pairs used, and this is I pairs, isn't it? I pairs, and I don't need that one up there anymore because I'm getting it from the keyboard, and that's that. So that should work for two of them, so try this out. Number of apples used 12, number of pairs used 7. Does different maths again. So that's not bad. So I've got my two gets working. I'm really chuffed with that. What I could do after that, obviously, is say, well, why don't the prices of the apples be typed in the prices of the pears? Because let's face it, prices vary whenever you go into a shop these days. So what I'll do is, I'll deal with the apples first. And I'll say, enter the cost of an apple. There you go. And also be apple cost. There you go. And then take the same thing and do the same for the pear. And enter the price of a pear. And that's pear cost. And up here I don't need these variables anymore. And in fact I'm no longer creating variables and assigning values because I've taken that piece away. So let's try it. I have 8 apples. I have 4 pears. The apples were quite cheap, they cost me 15 pence. The pears are expensive, they cost me 66 pence. And there's your answer. So again, you've made it very dynamic simply by doing that. It's very easy to get Dolab information from the keyboard using this idea of input, this input command.